Hey guys, thought I'd put out another little video. As some of you know, who've watched in previous videos, I've been looking for replacing a SOG knife that I'd lost that I'd carried for years. And, you know, this is similar to it, but I don't want to lose that one as well. So I went on the hunt for basically a replacement everyday carry knife. I came across a Hogue that I tried replacing it with, and it's a fantastic knife. Nothing wrong with it, really. Good carry, really enjoyed it. A couple of things that aren't exactly what I want or certain feel fit, but nothing wrong with the knife, just something I was looking for. And then Hogue went and done really great customer service and warranted stuff that I didn't think they even needed a warranty. So I went out and bought another Hogue knife because, well, one, I'd already been eyeballing it, and the reviews on it are fantastic, and it's a great knife. Still not quite, I don't know. I don't want to say not 100%. I think I would be very, very happy and never a problem carrying this, every day for however long. I think it's a perfect knife for that. Really great. My only concern is when I bought this, it is a like $170 knife. Losing a $170 knife, even though, as you can see, I've lost two knives technically. One was found again, but the other one, well, it hasn't been found. I don't think it's ever going to be. So that kind of kept me looking a little bit. So I happened to be at a sporting goods store that had an okay-ish knife selection, but weren't bad on prices. And being a knife guy, I started looking at some knives and stuff, and came across a USA made Kershaw Launch 7. So I guess this has been out for quite a little while. Has a nice little American flag on it and stuff. And as I was feeling them, and actually went back, I took a week before deciding to buy this, or 2 weeks actually. But I compared it next to the Benchmade Osborne, I think 940, which that's kind of one of them that I wanted to look at. Is that looked like, man, that'd be such a, I think that Benchmade would be a great replacement for this. And so I looked at it, and again, it's a very cashy, knife. I know there's more expensive out there, but still, that's a good chunk of change. And sorry for the vibrations. People are texting me. Anyways, so that's a good feeling knife and everything, and I liked it. Then I came across this one here, which they had for just a little over $100. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to lose $100 knife. Don't think that I think $100 is cheap and expendable by any means. In the past 25 years of carrying a knife every day, I've lost two. So I think it's a reasonable risk for me. But if you don't want to carry a $100 knife, I agree with that. And there's others that are cheaper that carry just fine. So anyway, so I picked this up, and sitting there side by side with that 940 Osborne and a few others and everything, it's like, man, that feels great. But it is ugly as sin. I'm going to show you something on this, and once I show it to you, I don't know if you'll ever unsee this. Do you see the alligator? Chomp, 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 the eye, the teeth. I mean, it's I don't know. It's it's like it was designed for a mechanical futuristic thing, but designed in 1996. Um, some people I'm sure are going to love this, and if you do, I'm sorry. I don't want to insult you on it. But I think this, in the same exact shape, same thickness, I think if that was done in like a micarta, this thing would be, ooh, it'd be good. It'd be, it is good now, but I think if that was micarta, Kershaw, hook me up, put it in micarta for me. I'd like that. That'd be all right. And my automatic light does not like me at all. I still think it may be better without it. So back to this, if it was in my cart, it'd be fantastic. Now, I've only carried this very little, and after the first day of carrying it, I put another edge on it. I just focus. Come on. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe it doesn't like that knife back there. Oh, boy, it'd be cool if it would focus, wouldn't it? Let's see if I can touch on it to focus it. There we go. So, after the first day of owning it, I took it out, or took it home, and I sharpened it. I like a convex edge. That's what I can sharpen well with. So I put a nice quick little edge on it. I haven't tested it yet. I just did that actually today. And I'm going to see what it does. So a couple of things that are really nice. The steel sharpened up great. I know it's hard to tell for sure. Let me see. Well, I want this to stay focused on this. Whoa. We get into all kinds of crazy things here. So, anyways, the steel on this, when I sharpened it sharpened really well. I don't like a steel that's too easy to sharpen. I don't know if that makes any sense for you guys or not, but being too easy to sharpen makes it, I don't know. I don't like it. I like to have to come up to the edge that I want. So that's what I do. And this one didn't take long to sharpen, but it was hard enough that I could tell there was some there. I could come up to the edge that I wanted. I could work it a little bit more controlled. And, you know, other than cutting a few pieces of paper, which I wonder if I have some paper here or something. What is this? Oh, this will work. So, other than cutting just a few pieces of paper, let's see if we can get this down low enough so you can see it actually. A little angle action. I mean, it's plenty sharp. I left this a pretty toothy edge, fairly toothy, just because I like it to grab a little bit. For a working edge, seems to work better. Seems to hold a better cutting edge, or a general cutting edge longer. Does that make sense? But I don't know on this steel, but just in previous steels, previous working with things, that's what I come to like on a daily edge. The snap out here is poppy. It is very, very poppy. So poppy that, you know, I don't think it'll come out of your hand very easily, but you definitely feel it. And what I'm concerned with is I work in mixed environments. Sometimes corporate, sometimes, you know, very professional, sometimes it's the mechanic shop. And I know some places get kind of picky on certain things. I've never ever had anybody say anything about a knife because I'm opening packages and things like that all the time. So it's common for me to have a knife. But for me, I'm just thinking a semi-formal, semi-corporate area that just seems a little intimidating. I just think that could be taken a little, I don't know. I could be taken out of context for what it is. How about we say it that way? Versus, you know, one seems like maybe a bit overkill. Like I said, I've never had anybody say anything about it, but if that was a little quieter, a little deadened, I think it'd be fantastic. If this was in just a little flipper or something like that, even with that blade length, even if this wasn't spring loaded, I wonder if you could just press and just do a little wrist flick and open that up. I mean, I know like the axis lock, is no problem to do that. I think a thumb stud, because I think, when you press this down, you feel the action of it here when you have it pressed. I mean, obviously you have the spring, but there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of resistance there. It seems to be a very smooth action. And maybe tightening this up to slow it down a smidge may have less pop there. Just one of the drawbacks of an automatic. I'm not an automatic fan, if you can't tell from that little rant. But the ergonomics on this, I mean, are really, really good for me. I have these short-fingered but chubby sausage fingers, and it makes it hard because sometimes when they place your fingers wrong, where they want them or where the designer wanted them, my fingers are all squished together. I like a little bit of room to move, but I also like a lot of security. And this has really done a good job at that. I mean, oddly enough, like I said, I think it's ugly, but where your thumb's fitting here, even without any jimping, it's nice. It's good. Where the finger placement isn't bad. It's a little ways back from the knife edge, which is in one way nice. In other ways, for more detailed work, I don't know how that'll be, but I'm not doing a whole ton of detail work either. So I don't know if I'll notice that. The way that it comes up here for the swoop just fills in nicely. Got plenty of space to kind of spread out a little. Pinky comes around fairly well. So this is just thick enough, but just thin enough. It's flattened to where it slides in and out of pocket well, and my hand goes in my pocket with this in there well also. So that's really nice too. So it has a lot of things going for it. But man, I think if they did this in a micarta, and it wouldn't necessarily have to be a assisted opening, I think even if I'm half tempted to take the spring out myself, redo it, and just see how this is as a flipper, as just a wrist flip. It'd be your only option to open it though, but this is your only option to open it now. So I don't think that would, if it was smooth enough, that wouldn't change much. I don't know. What are your thoughts on something like that? My thoughts on the knife are, I paid the money for it because it fits well. It works well. Even though I'm not an automatic fan, and I don't like the looks of this. I think the shape and the form is fantastic. Just all this extra little things I don't think are needed. It would be fantastic if that had a piece of micarta or something on it. I would almost consider just doing a layover on the whole thing, see how it looked. This is going to be a worker. I'm going to carry this. I'm going to see how it plays out. If I think it's not the right knife for the right place, by chance, I can think of a couple corporations that might be questionable. I can always carry a second knife with me. Not a thing wrong with that. Let me know what your thoughts are. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Leave a comment, leave a complaint, whatever. Engage in some conversation. Look forward to having it with you. Have a great day.